Welcome to Living Chassidus. Together, let's live the Chassidus we learn.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Chassidus in the Morning. 15 minutes to change our lives. Kuntres of mind. We'll start off by giving tzedakah. Gudel tzedakah, shmakaros and geula. Mitzvah Hashem, Mashiach already. This whole series of learning is in honor of all the Eretz Yisroel, and specifically the soldiers and hostages. That Mitzvah Hashem should all be safe, strong, healthy, begashis baruchnius, and we should have only good news to share. And today we're going to focus on the captive Kim bas Miri Pinas. Mitzvah Hashem should be good and healthy, strong, safe, and only brachos, and also for the soldier Yosef Yitzchak ben Simcha. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so now today we're going to learn something very interesting and very, very famous. There's, they talk a lot about in Torah, brings down Chassidus as well. There's loy, they say loy mitzvah aleph. There's loy in the Torah, can be written, there's two meanings of loy. There's loy with an aleph, which is no, and loy with a vav is to him. And so we're going to discuss that today. And this is something general you'll hear people say, loy mitzvah aleph, which means no, like not to him. In Hebrew, loy and loy, it sounds the same, but it means to him, or it means not. But in English, it sounds very, very distinct, very clear, but in Hebrew it doesn't. And that's what we're going to discuss. And you'll see it's a very beautiful idea, and this is how it's brought out a lot of times in Torah. Okay, so we're talking about that our relationship with Hashem is coming from a very deep place, and therefore it's not just haphazard, like if you're getting from Klippa, etc., but it comes in a proper, organized fashion through Seder Shtalshus. And even though we said, and like in times of Migdash, they go from that one on such a good level and so connected, even though they reach a higher level, that even Lamayim Seder Shtalshus gets received into Seder Shtalshus. And we said everyone had everything they needed, like the lashon that is used, Ish tachas gafni, ish tachas teinasei, which is everyone had the vineyard and the tree, which means it's meant to impart. When the Gemara uses this terminology, is that we had plenty. They had plenty, and we said to the extent in times based on Mikdash that even higher levels in Seder Shtalshus being brought down into Seder Shtalshus, because again, our relationship with Hashem is a Seder Shtalshus type of connection, meaning it's a deep connection. The Seder Shtalshus is we're translating here, we're understanding it in terms of orderly, organized connection. Lamayim Seder Shtalshus is above being able to be connected. It's for the giver and the recipient. Lamayim Seder Shtalshus is above Seder Shtalshus, is above being able to be received by the recipient properly. Whereas in Seder Shtalshus, it's about being able to be received. So normally we look at Seder Shtalshus as like limited, whereas Lamayim Seder Shtalshus is unlimited. But here we're showing the point of it, not that it's limited versus unlimited, which it is, but it's that it's deep connection versus superficial connection. And we're saying even more that even in Seder Shtalshus, we're able to receive this higher, a level above Seder Shtalshus, that it manages to contract itself into Seder Shtalshus for us to receive it. Because we're having it, and in simple English, we have a deep connection to Hashem. This is what we're showing. So on that level, that with this deep connection to Hashem, that's even Lamayim Seder Shtalshus is being brought down into Seder Shtalshus. V'shama magia gamkein hatzar v'isurim shel Yisrael. Also, a powerful thing that happens, that our pain that happens to us, our suffering, our affliction, reaches to Hashem's suffering and affliction. So on one hand, it's a very interesting point, because on the one hand, we're saying this is a level above Seder Shtalshus, above nature, way above and beyond. But because of the deep relationship that we have with Hashem, that even though this is way above Seder Shtalshus, way above our little mundane lives and issues, our little mundane lives and issues in comparison to Hashem, nevertheless, Hashem feels it and he hears it and he connects to it. We'll see. Like it says in Yeshaya, in all their pain, to him is a pain. Now, what is it? How is it written? It says in the Zohar, Ksiv loy ba'alef. But we read it v'kara b'vav. So it says, b'chol tzaras, in all their pain, loy tzar. So the way it's written, it says in all their pain, loy with an aleph, tzar. Not pain. Meaning to him, there's no pain, because he's the level above pain. Doesn't bother Hashem, he's way above and beyond this. But how do we read it? In Torah, there's Korean the ksiv. The way it's written, the way it's read. The way it's read is loy, to him there's pain. And here, so there's two ways of reading. One, you can say in all their pain, there's no pain for him. That's the way it's written. But the way we read it is in all their pains, to him there's pain. And they mean very different things. One says Hashem is way above and beyond and it's not connected. The other one says that he is connected. So how does it work? Which one is it? Is that he's not connected? He's connected. So this is how it explains. Begin to kutra brechu by Hashem imhoin ikaru ba'aku. He's with us in our suffering, in our pain. Loi ba'alef asa ilah yatir. And the Zohar is explaining, which is Bechinas Atik. Because of Zohar, Chalagimu be'idra zutra, it's a make so if I'm on base, avalatik akadisham stimolo nisaknu. So what he's saying, I'll just finish it off and then we'll explain. Ba'af gav the lav bahu atam rugza ba'aku lahasam le'ela matu aksa. Meaning we're taking these two ideas that he's above and beyond the pain of the Jewish people, and that he feels our pain, and putting them together. Meaning the level of Hashem, that he's above and beyond the level of Atik, which is above. We said, like in Seder Shtalshus, you have the beginning is Chachma, and then it goes down from there. Above Chachma is Ratzon, and above, and in Ratzon, in Keser, which is above, it's like the crown, which is above us. In that level, there's two levels, and Atik is the deeper level, and in Atik, where he's way above and beyond what's going on in our world, nevertheless, that's the level of Loitzar with the Aleph. There's no pain for him because he's above and beyond feeling that pain. Nevertheless, he still feels that pain. I mean, he thought he feels that pain because he is affected, Chas v'shalom, because he's way above being affected. But he feels that pain because even though he's way above it, he still feels that pain. A simple example of it is like, and it's a profound realization, like to think about it this way. But like, let's say a child comes and playing with their toy and the toy breaks, and you don't care about the toy; it doesn't matter to you. If anything, you want to get rid of it already. And the kid comes and the kid's in pain, but this toy broke. You're way above and beyond that feeling. You have no connection to this toy, it's pain. But you can, and this takes some effort, but this is very powerful, but you can come down to the kid's level. You stop for a second, you think about it, say, imagine me being that child and what I would feel like if my toy broke. And then you feel that pain and you can really do it. You get to a point where you feel it the way the child feels it, and you show the child that you're with them in that pain. And that's worth its weight in gold. And this is sort of the challenge, in a simple example, challenge of relationships and spouses especially, to be able to put yourself in another person's shoes and feel their pain. If you can do that for someone, you can, so many people's lives would be so different if we could all do that. And what we're saying is that Hashem does that, and on an infinitely greater scale, way above and beyond. And when we recognize that Hashem is with us in our pain, it feels so much better. When someone comes to speak, when you come to speak to someone, or someone comes to speak to you about some issue going on, we naturally tend to want to solve the problem. But that's not what we want, really. Most of the time, a person just wants, and this, I'm not saying this just, I made this up or something. Besides the fact it talks about it everywhere in Chassidus, this is even in professionally, like, like, what's the name, like mental health and going to a psychologist and therapist, thing like this. Like, that's what I'll tell you. That the most person needs, more than anything, you help them more, but just by being there with them and hearing their pain. And you can think about it by the Rebbe. I used to talk on this a lot. You see by the Rebbe, the same thing. That's what the Rebbe did so much. Make people feel understood. And so that's what we're saying by Hashem. That even though there's a level of Hashem that's way above being able to be connected to our pain and our suffering, he's way above that. But nevertheless, on that level, he feels it. Meaning you could learn it one way. They're just saying Hashem is way above and beyond, or we could learn in the way that Hashem is in with us in our pain. But we're showing the depth of this vart, that Zara is showing the depth of the vart, that we're taking both of them, that Hashem that's way above and beyond any connection to our suffering feels our pain. It's a very beautiful idea. The Gemara in Chagiga says in Gemara, Isa al pasuk on the pasuk in Yirmiyah, and also it's also connected with what we're learning in Pasha Shemais and talking about Exodus. That's what we're going to get to. Isa the pasuk said in the pasuk in Yirmiyah, "B'mistarim tivke nafshi mipei mipnei gaiva," that in the hidden places cries my soul because of their gaiva, because of their pride. My soul weeps for your pride. This is going to talk about the same idea. Makim yesh HaKadosh Baruch Hu, there's a place for Hashem that it's called Umistarim Shemai. Its name is Mistarim, like so to speak, like the hidden places. That's what it's called, Mistarim. The Mai Mipnei Gaiva. What does it mean? Because of the pride. Amar Rav Shmuel Bar Yitzchak. Rav Shmuel Bar Yitzchak says, Mipnei Gaivas and Shayisol, the pride of the Jewish people. Shenitzla mehen, that was taken away from them. We had pride, we were doing good, we were menschlich, and that got taken away from us. Omi, so the Gemara asks, Omi ika b'chia kame kucha brechu, and is that crying by Hashem? It says in the pasuk, Mistarim tivke nafshi. In Mistarim, which we said that's the name for Hashem, that is crying for the Jewish people's pride. So the Gemara asks, Hashem cries? What does that mean? Rav Papa says, there's no crying by Hashem. Hashem's not sad. It's sort of use physical terms for Hashem. It doesn't make sense. He says, so like Kasha, the Gemara says it's not a question. One is talking about the inner chamber, talking about the outer chamber, meaning to the level of Hashem that he doesn't cry. Hashem does cry. In the inner chamber, he does cry. In Pirush, Rashi explains, that in the inner chamber there is crying by Hashem. The chsiv, like it says, a mistarim in the hidden places, like it says in the pasuk Yirmiyah. But mistarim, the hidden places, meaning the inner chamber, the inner parts of Hashem. Tivke nafshi mipnei gaiva. Hashem cries because of our pride. That in that hidden chamber specifically, what does that mean? Which is going back to what we've been talking about till now. The hainum, Hashem's inner, infinite light. Sham habachia kaviyachul al gavasan sheisol shnit lavchu. Over there, so to speak, Hashem cries. Hashem doesn't physically cry, but he, so to speak, cries because of the pride that was taken away from us. Hainu meaning mipnei shenesham Yisrael yesh lahem shaychus bechinas pnimius, and this is sort of really hitting the ball, like hitting the ball out of the park. In that idea that we've been talking about till now, about in the Pnimius, but till now we've been sort of showing that the Klippa can receive from Makiv, and we have to receive from Pnimius. And Pnimius sounds like you get worse. It's a judge, and everything that you do is very important. Whereas you get from Makiv, it's easy and it's free. But we're showing the flip side of the coin. When you have Pnimius, Hashem is with you. Hashem cares for you. Hashem feels for you. And on this level that Hashem cries for us. And even Hashem's infinite light, way above and beyond, it's connected to the Pnimius, it's inner desire. It's with us doing Torah mitzvahs. That we're showing that on that deepest level, even though it goes through Seder Shtalshlus, it's tapping from a level above Seder Shtalshlus. And on that level, Hashem really cares for us, and He cares for our mitzvahs that we do. So people ask, does Hashem really care? It shows, yeah, Hashem does really care. and he weeps for us, and he connects with us, and that's what we're going to finish off here. We'll try to finish off quickly. And therefore, al yedei tzaka, the Eretz Yisroel. So therefore, through the Jewish people's crying, when we cry out in the times of our pain, our affliction, we arouse mercy, abundant mercy on us. Like it says in Shmois, in these pashas, and we were afflicted from all our work. When we cried out. That was the beginning of the Gula. We were pained by all the servitude. We cried out to Hashem, and Hashem heard us. Ksivan says to Hilim, we cried out to Hashem in our affliction, in our pain. But for it to work, the Rebbe Shab is saying, has to come through the depth of our hearts. We have to truly cry out. Through our inner cry, it reaches Hashem, the infinite, the panemius, the inner, the inwardness of Hashem's essence of the infinite light. And what we're showing here today, just to finish off, what we're showing is that our connection to Hashem is very deep, to the extent that even on a level that's way above and beyond Hashem being able to be affected by anything that we do, Hashem does get affected. In all our afflictions, to Him there's pain. There's the level of Hashem that is above and beyond being able to be connected to our afflictions. In that level, He does get affected by us, by what's happening to us. And when we cry out, from the depths of us, it taps into Him. So we have a real deep relationship with Hashem. Just to finish off the Kitzur, Bisman Abayis, in the time of the base of Migdash, Shahayu Yisrael Shalemim B'kiyum HaTorah Mitzvahs, we will complete in the fulfillment of Torah Mitzvahs. Hayu Yisrael Mushpaim B'Shefa Rab B'Gashmis. We would receive a lot of Gashmis. We had the good life, physically. Neisaf Ala Lakus Sheir B'Gilad. Besides the godliness that was being revealed, it was good life, spiritually and physically. Bisman HaGalus, whereas in the time of Galus, Mipnei HaChatoim, because of the sins, Yisrael, Hachatoim Yisrael, Him, Meshiflus, they were on a low level. Like we see the world around us, how much they hate us. And all our pain and our affliction, Loitzar, to Him is also the pain, which means Shemagia Bapnimius, that it reaches Hashem's Pnimius. Through the tshuva, from the depths of the heart, we arouse Hashem's inner part. The Mitzvah Hashem, all of us, we should have that feeling, a recognition that Hashem, way above and beyond, feels our pain, and He's there with us, and that should ease the burden. And Mitzvah Hashem, we should have Mashiach down. Have an amazing day.